Hello, I'm Dr. Neeraj Gupta, Assistant Professor in Department of Computer Engineering and Applications. I would like to explain today's topic, that is relational data model. So basically, the data model are the set of concepts which is used to define the structure of database and also provides the constraints and operations to that. So in this video we discussed about the relational model, the constraints and their operations. So first, relational model. So relational model is based on the concept of relations, and basically it is a formal foundation on the theory of relations. So we review the essentials of formal relational models, and in practice we incorporate this relational model using the SQL query based language. So what a relational model concept is? So a relation is mathematical concept based on the idea of the set theory, and this model was given by the Dr. E.F. Codd of IBM Research in 1970. He has published one paper in 1970, the relational model for large shared data banks, and achieve HCM Turing Awards. And he has given the 12 quad rules, and these rules are numbered from 0 to 12, and these rules are defined on the basis of relational database models, and if any database management system follow these rules of relational model, then it becomes the RDBMS. So these are the 12 rules given by the EF Codd, numbered from 0 to 12, and these rules are used to satisfy the DBMS, and that DBMS becomes RDBMS. Now the definitions. The informal relations looks like a table of values, and the relations typically contains the set of rows, and in the real world the relationship is shown by the row. In the formal model, the row is called as tuples, and each column has a column header which is known as attribute names. So example of relations. So this is the example of relation in which student is the name of relation, and name, SSN number, phone number, these all are the attributes, and these are called as records and formally called as tuples. So this is the example of relation. More in definitions of key. What is key? So key is something which can uniquely identify a row in the table. Okay, so in the previous example, a student, so SSN number is the key. Sometimes other sequential number or row IDs are required, which are assigned as a key, and they are called as artificial key or surrogate key. Okay, the formal definition of the schema is the schema of the relation R is denoted by this term R A1 A2 up to AN, and the name of the relation is R, and attributes are A1 A2 up to AN. So the example is of customer. Customer is the relation name, customer ID, customer name, address, and phone number are the attributes defined over the customer relation, and each the value which is coming from its valid domain. Now tuples. So tuple is an ordered set of values which are enclosed between the angle brackets, and each value is derived from its appropriate domain, and A row is represented with a set of values for a particular tuple. So for a customer, a relation is a four tuple values. Like in this, first value is the SSN number, second is the name, third one is the address, and fourth one is the phone number. So it's a four tuple, it has a four values. So tuple, which is actually the informal way we call it as a row in a customer relation. So a relation is a set of tuples and the rows. Domain. So domain has logical definition like phone number, US phone number, which is a 10-digit phone number valid in the US. So that is the domain of phone number. So domain has also the data types or the format defined for it. Like the date have particular format. This way, this format DD, MM, and 4 times YYY. So these are the formats for domain. So next is state. So a relation state is a subset of the Cartesian product of domain of its attributes. So relation state is actually the Cartesian products of domain values of all the attributes. And these domain values like customer name. So what are the domain values? It depends on the type. So here in customer name, the type is string. So string is represented as varchar 25. So it have maximum 25 characters. So the role of this string plays in the customer relation is the name of the customer. These are the summary notations like given R. So what is R? R is a name of relation. A1, A2 up to N are the attributes. R of R is a state which is a subset of domain of A1, A2 up to An, and these are represented as the relation schema. R is the name of the relation and A1, A2 up to N are the attributes. And R of R is called the specific state or values or the population. This is the set of tuples. So R can be represented mathematically as a subset of T1, T2 up to Tn. And Ti equal to V1, V2 up to Vn, these are the set of values in particular domain. Now this is the example, formal definition example. Suppose we have the relation which have two attributes A1, A2, and dom of A1 is having two values and dom of A2 is having three values. Okay, so according to the Cartesian products, so we get 2 into 3, that means 6 values. So Cartesian product dom of A1 cross dom of A2. So what are the values actually? So 0A, that is first value, 0B, 0C, 1A, 1B, and 1C. So these are 6 values which are for the relation state R of R. So R of R is a subset of these values. Clear? So R of R is a subset of dom of A1, A2, A2. An example of R of R, this is one of the set of 0A, 0B, and 1C. That is the population or relation state of R. So it has two tuples 0A, 0B, and 1C. So finally, the summary of relational model is this one: the informal term and the formal term. So informal terms The table is the relation, column header is the attributes, and all possible column values are treated as a domain. Rows are tuples, and table definition is the schema of the relation. Populated table is the state of the relation. So these are the formal terms and these are informal terms. Now the reference books are thank you, keep learning, keep growing.